Hey, everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable, the podcast. It is Tuesday, April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. This is not April Fool. I'm really here. I'm really here. Well, I've missed talking to you guys. So I thought I'd pop on for a few minutes, talk a little baseball since the Phillies started. But before we talk baseball, how about that push-tush? This morning, league meetings, owners meetings, whatever, in Florida, they decided to table the resolution. There's a few troublemaker teams out there, like the Packers, the Cowboys, the Bills, the Steelers, who are thinking about the Packers were actually the ones who wrote the resolution to try to ban the push-tush, something the Eagles have used successfully for the last few years. Basically, these are a bunch of sore losers. They don't know how to perfect it because they don't have an offensive line as good as the Eagles. They don't have a quarterback who can do it as good as the Eagles. And they don't have coaches as good as the Eagles who could teach it. So they can't duplicate it. They can't stop it. So what are they doing? They're trying to have it outlawed. Well, that's sour news. And it's coming from the Packers, but the Cowboys are on board. Bills, I've heard the Steelers. Apparently there are 16 teams who are on board. But it takes 24 teams to outlaw it. Now, the thing is, the NFL keeps saying, they know what's going on because they said this morning, as we've said before, we don't like to change a rule just because of one or two teams. So the Packers are saying, well, let's give us a chance to fine tune our complaint, So they're meeting again in May, late in May in Minnesota to take up the debate again. But apparently there's been a lot of heated discussion down in Florida about the topic. So we'll see what happens. I think it may not pass this time, but I think eventually they will because where there's smoke, there's fire. But again, the team, if you want to stop it, stop it. They're using flimsy excuses like, oh, there's a chance for an injury. There's little proof at all that this particular play causes an increase to injury. So again, teams are just sour grapes. They just can't do anything about it. So they're trying to have it. So, the funny thing is, the Eagles play the Packers this year. They play the Bills, and they certainly play the Cowboys twice. And I would say the Eagles need to stick it to these teams. And wouldn't it be great? You go up to Green Bay or Buffalo or down to Dallas, and the last play of the game is to push-tush to score a touchdown at the goal line and beat these stinking rotten teams. That would be great. That would be great. But we'll see what happens. So let's see if the NFL has any sense of morality and they stick to their guns and say, no, we're not going to ban a particular play just because of one team, just because the rest of you stupid teams can't stop it or can't duplicate. So we'll see what happens. So baseball. Well, Phillies are 3-1. They've gotten off to a good start. They took 2 out of 3 in Washington. They took the home opener yesterday against the Rockies. Certainly they should sweep East Rough today. They play again Wednesday and Thursday. The Rockies are a good team. And the Rockies are in a tough division out west. And they probably will lose 100 games again. So you would think the Phillies would beat them. At least 2 this year. Let's see. Now the Phillies, when they need to score, they score. I mean, I'm a little concerned that they're not getting off the leads. It'd be nice to get off like a 4-0 lead. Look at last night. The Tigers went up to Seattle and they scored 6 runs in the first inning. Well, they went on to win the game. You score 6 runs in the first inning, you should win the game, right? So it would be nice to get off to a lead, but the bottom line is win the game, right? So come back and win. All right. So far, the pitching's been good. Christopher Sanchez looked good. Aaron Nola was really the stinker in the group there. But yeah, Aaron Nola it's the same thing with him. It's the home runs. He pitches okay. He strikes out a bunch of hitters, but then there's always that one long ball that cost him. He's got it. I don't know. This is the way he's always going to be, I guess. But it's got to figure out a way to limit the killer home runs. So the bullpen's been okay so far. They still don't have a closer, which I don't like, but so far so. And before we talk more about the Phillies, how about those torpedo bats? Huh? The Yankees, everything. God forbid the Yankees. Don't take them away from the Yankees. Oh my God. So it looks like the bats are starting to make their way around major leagues. I think the Tigers ordered a whole bunch of them. I think Alec Bohm was using. He didn't hit a home run, but he got a single. So I think eventually it'll even out. I know Matt Strom, Phillies pitcher, was saying, this is bogus. The bats are apparently legal, but they're searching the pitchers like they're criminals every time they come off the mound, that they don't have something in their pocket or not using some sort of illegal substance on their fingers. And yet these hitters are going up there with torpedo bats. It's like, come on. So I don't know. I don't know if the bats have any, and I guess a little bit, but I just think that first series where the Yankees just bombarded the Brewers. I just think the Brewers pitching stinks. As we can see now, the Brewers haven't even won a game. So maybe that's it. Maybe the Brewers, maybe Milwaukee's pitching stinks. But we'll see. Of course, time will tell. And now this is, rather than push Tush-Push, this is an easily rectified situation. If people are pissed about the torpedo bats, then your team order up a bunch of torpedo bats. Your hitters use them, right? And I agree with Strom. Start relaxing the rules. Pitchers too. I mean, back in the day when I was growing up, they had Gaylord Perry. He was cheating all the time, using all kinds of Vaseline and all kinds of rosin and sticky stuff on his fingers. And that was part of the psychological warfare between a pitcher and a catcher, a pitcher and a hitter, because you didn't know. Part of Gaylord Perry's shtick was you didn't know if he was actually using this stuff. He gave you the impression with all the signals and all the what his debility cap and everything. He just gave you the idea that he was using something, and that's all it takes. If he plants that idea in your head, that's one less thing that's one more thing you're thinking about instead of focusing on hitting the damn ball, right? So, I agree with Strom. I think they should not expect the pitchers every time they come off the mound and come into the game. Come on. I mean, think about it. The freaking Astros cheated how many years ago and they won a World Series. But what was done to them? Nothing, really. They got away with murder. So, I think Major League Baseball. Yeah. Now, and so the Phils. Phils take the next 2 games against the Rockies. They play the Dodgers this coming weekend. The Dodgers invade Philadelphia. Now, by that time, the Dodgers could be 8-0. The Phillies could be 5-1. Now, the Dodgers still haven't lost a game. Oh, I think they may lose to them. You got the Braves who are 0-5. Can you believe that? Braves, that's good. That's good. They're burying themselves already. And Jackson Profile, their star free agent signing in the off season, is using substances there that he shouldn't be using. Banned for 80 games. Half of the season, he's done. So there you go. Thank God the Phillies did sign him. All of a sudden, that Max Kepler signing is looking better and better. So, the Braves, yeah, it's important to finish out good, but you could lose games in April too. You could lose the division too. Every game counts. So I've never seen a team that buries itself, that gets down, maybe loses its first 8 games, 10 games, and it comes back and wins the series. I've never seen that. So, Braves keep burying yourselves, right? You dig out of a hole. You chase the Phillies and see what happens. I don't think you're going to do it. I think the Braves are already screwed. They're trying to get Spencer Strider back. I think he's out on a rehab assignment. Acuna still isn't back yet. He's not going to be back till May. So the Braves got troubles, but I'm not crying for the Braves. I am not crying for the Braves. No way, Jose. Although they have Chris Sale pitching today. Now, the Braves are due to win a game. The Dodgers are due to lose a game. They're playing out in LA. And I would think if Atlanta's ever going to win a game, they're going to win tonight. And if they don't win tonight behind Chris Sale, when are they going to win a game? So there you go. But anyway, LA comes in over the weekend. And wow, I wish that series would have occurred in the middle of summer. Kids are out of school, the weather's warmer, people are on vacation. Not that the bank won't be packed anyway this weekend, but it's going to be cool. And I think they're calling for chances of rain all weekend long. So thank you, Major Baseball scheduling group. One of the biggest series of the year, you got the Dodgers, the mighty Dodgers, the world champions, coming in one time this year. And I've never, ever known the Dodgers to come in to Philadelphia this early in the season. Never. And I've been around, 118 years. Yeah. So, it's stupid. And the Dodgers should be coming in sometime in July. But no. But the law of averages, Dodgers due to lose Freddie Freeman's out now. Did you hear that? Hurt himself getting into the shower? What the hell is that? What, did he trip over his rubber ducky? What the hell? He hurt his ankle or something. It looks like he's out. Mookie Betts is still trying to get back. Well, he is back. Like, still trying to put on weight because he was sick when he went to Japan. I don't think they're going to stop teams going to Japan anymore. But I think they need to have a better view on what these guys are eating over there. This guy comes back, he's deathly sick. He can't stop throwing up. It's like he's at a New York Knicks game. Anyway, so it will be a big series this weekend, even if Freeman is out. Phillies pitchers against Ohtani and the rest of that gang. It's big because the thing about it, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. But if the Phillies play the Dodgers in the postseason, it's going to be head to head, right? Not only now, but the Phillies don't play the Dodgers again until the end of September. In fact, the last road trip the Phillies are on, they go to LA. What the hell kind of schedule is that? The Dodgers the first away games they play, because they played their first 2 series at home, other than the Japan excursion. The first road series is in Philadelphia. Now, the Phillies, their last road series will be in LA. What the hell, right? So, but anyway, those head-to-head games are going to mean a lot as far as who gets home field advantage, blah, blah, blah. So we'll see what the Phillies do. You'd like to see them have a little more consistent hitting. Again, same bugaboo is they leave too many men on base. Let's go around the diamond. I mean, Harper's gotten off to a pretty good start. He's hitting that every single game so far, all 4. I mean, Bryson Stott looks like he's corrected his swing, playing pretty solid defense. Trey Turner is out. Back spasms, really. Although he ran yesterday, pinch hit, he got a walk, and he came in to score a run, which was good. Hopefully he's going to play starting tomorrow. He better, because Omundo Sosa is filling in for him and doing a terrific job. It's Omundo Sosa. You play him every day. Maybe you expose him. Maybe he's not an everyday player, but he's a hell of a part-time player. Sosa actually has a good description for himself. Like the NBA has the 6th man of the year, guy coming off the bench. That's what he is. He can play anywhere. He can fill in anywhere. He can play shortstop, second base, third base. In a pinch, he can play in the outfield. So Sosa's a valuable guy to have on the team. Third base, Albone is okay so far. He hasn't gone off, which is good. Outfield, that Kepler looks like a player. His issue has always been injured when he's with Minnesota. He can't stay healthy. Hopefully he will this year. But other than that, he's a hell of a ball player. He reminds me of Von Hayes. A lot of you probably don't know Von Hayes, but I like Von Hayes. Not too many people liked him because he was the subject of a 5-for-1 deal with Cleveland in the middle 80s. And a lot was put on his shoulders. That's Ted Williams. He had number 9. He was left-handed batter like Ted Williams. Beautiful swing. Well, needless to say, he wasn't Ted Williams. But I thought he was not a bad player, But Kepler reminds me of Von Hayes. But I think he's going to be a definite upgrade than Austin Hayes. Jesus. I guess anybody. My dog Coco could be. Center field is still a black hole in space. Brandon Marsh is doing an okay job. Okay, Brandon Marsh, you got to play consistently all year before I become a believer. And right field, Nick Castellanos is okay. JT Realmuto has been in and out, hurt his foot, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, only 4 games. But hey, winning 3 out of 4, I'll take it. To me, the Phillies are still the Braves with all their troubles, guys being suspended, injuries, losing 5 games in a row. Can you believe the Braves are still favored to win the National League East? The Phillies are second favorite, and there's plus money. I would jump all over that. Oh my God. The Phillies are still playing. You could put a bet on the Phillies to win National League East. We're not even talking about National League World Series. Put a bet on the Phillies to win National League East, you get double your money. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. I think the Phillies are going to win National League East because they're certainly no less than they are last year. They won, 93, 95 games last year? And I would suspect they're going to win that the same. The Braves certainly are improved. That's all improved. The Mets pitching stinks. As we saw, the Nationals aren't ready. The Marlins are playing good ball right now, but they're not going to keep that over. I think that's pretty good money there. You get double your money back if you put a little wager on the Phillies to win the division. I mean, what the hell, right? So, let's talk about the rest of baseball, right? Well, NL Central, how about the St. Louis Cardinals? Huh? Won 3 out of 4. These are all home games. Wait till they get on the road. Then we see what happens. But and Cardinals still have Ariano, and they sort of gone younger, which they needed to do. They got rid of Goldschmidt, but the Cards were picked near the bottom of the Central Division, and I've learned over the years you never underestimate St. Louis. They're always up there. How many times have you seen the Cardinals finish in last place in a division? Not very many times in their existence. They've only finished last in a division a handful of times, really. And so I would put it past St. Louis to be up there. Everybody was on the Chicago. Everybody. That was the trendy pick this year going into the season. Oh, the Cubs. They got off to a brutal start and they lost the first 2 games in Japan to the Dodgers. I'm not saying the Cubs aren't going to be good. I just don't think they're going to be the super team. But my pick going into the season for the division was Cincinnati. And you saw yesterday, 14 runs. Cincinnati may not be consistent enough, but they've got a hell of a young, talented team. Would not surprise me at all if they contend. The Brewers have yet to win a game, but the Brewers stink. How many times can you keep losing players? Corbin Burns, they lost. The reliever, Williams. How many times can you keep losing players and still survive? Right? I didn't think Milwaukee was going to have a good year last year, and they did. I was wrong. I didn't think Milwaukee's going to have a good year this year. And so far, they haven't won a game. So we'll see what happens. Pirates aren't ready yet. We saw that. They lost that. They're not ready. So, and then we go to the West. Now look out here, because yes, it's true. The Dodgers have won the first 6 games. And they look like the Godzilla of the West, But be careful. San Diego has come out in a shoot, winning 5 in a row. Yes, the Padres. Don't underestimate the Padres. They still have Manny Machado out there. They have Tatis. They have a lot of good young players, solid veterans. They're a good team out there. So it's not like the Dodgers are going to run away with things. The Giants are playing pretty well. The Diamondbacks, you can't count the Diamondbacks. And so, I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for the Dodgers. I still don't think, their line was 103 wins. I still don't think that's easy. I mean, to win 103 games, I don't care what kind of team, it takes a lot, because it means not only are you good, but you have to stay away from injuries, from slumps. It takes a lot to win 103 games. I still don't know if the Dodgers could do it. Yeah, I'm not a believer. I'm not a believer. Yeah, I might be stupid. I probably am. But I don't know. Dodgers are gonna have their hands full out there, because when they're playing in their own division, I mean, it's not easy. They gotta play San Diego, Arizona, San Francisco. That's not easy. So I wouldn't necessarily hand the National League over to the Dodgers. What? American League East, well, it's too soon. The Yankees have been playing really well with their new torpedo bats. But you got Baltimore 3-2. You got a bunch of teams all there. Boston, Tampa Bay, Toronto. They're all clogged up there. So it's going to take some time for teams to separate themselves. And I'm not a big automatically the Yankees are going to crush everybody, like the New York media. Oh, Yankees. Yeah, I mean, come on. Aaron Judge is awesome. But, I don't think the Yankees have the greatest pitching in the world either. So let's see what happens, right? I think that's going to be a close division. If Baltimore gets any kind of pitching at all, they're going to give the Yankees a run for the money, and I think Boston will too. In the Central, they're all clubbed in. Yeah, everybody's thinking Kansas City from last year. Kansas City Tigers got off to a rough start. They won their first game last night, and Cleveland. Everybody's counting out Cleveland, and Cleveland's off to a good start. The Twins haven't won a game yet. And like I said, you bury yourself early, it's really tough. Even though it's a long season, it's tough to dig yourself out of a hole. It takes a lot just to get back to 500. And then when you're back at 500, you got it. It's like, wow, we dug ourselves out of the hole. Now we can rest. No, you can't rest because you're already at 500. Whereas the team ahead of you, maybe 8 games ahead. That's when you have to really start pushing, and it's not easy to do. And then you have American League West. That's still up for grabs, of course, too early. Stinking rotten cheap Astros out there. The team who I think is going to win it, the Rangers and the Mariners, they have the best pitching, one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. If they get any hitting, look out for the Mariners. And we know the A's are, how about those A's yesterday? First home game, so to speak, in Sacramento. And they got torched. The Cubs put up, 18 runs on them or something like that. What a mess, huh? What a mess. You got two major league teams playing at minor league ball. I mean, one wasn't, it wasn't their fault. Tropicana Field got wrecked from a storm. So Tampa Bay Rays are playing in a minor league ballpark. And then you got the Oakland A's playing in a minor league ballpark out in Sacramento. I mean, come on. I feel bad for the Oakland fans, really do. Because I still think it's a chicken and the egg thing. People say, well, the fans didn't support the team. They didn't come out. Well, maybe so. But then again, you got to say, what are they going out to? The team stunk at one time. The management did not invest money into the team. Their young players would get good and then they'd trade them off. The management did not invest in the stadium. The stadium was falling apart, sewage coming from everywhere. I mean, the management was the worst out there. And they just let things fall apart. Thinking they were going to get out of Oakland anyway, get a deal with Las Vegas. Now, whether they will or not, we don't know. They're supposedly building a new stadium in Las Vegas. Are those people going to support the A's? I don't know. It's just a mess. To me, it would have been nice to keep the A's in Oakland and build a stadium on the water like San Francisco does. Why couldn't the A's do that? Why couldn't the management work with Oakland and get that done at Major League Baseball? Why? Because I think between the ownership of Major League Baseball, they were in cahoots to get the team out of Oakland and eventually get them to Las Vegas. So, it's just not right what's going on. I feel worse. I feel bad for you. So that's where we are, right, with baseball. I mean, other than Dodgers breaking out in the pack there with 6 wins in a row, everything's sort of mumble jumble, as you would think it would be in the first week. But even so, like I said with the Dodgers, they're not breaking out in the pack because the Padres are right behind them. They've won 5. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully the Phillies stay away from injuries. That's the key thing. It's such a long season. You're going to have your injuries. Nothing too major that keeps a Bryce Harper out for 2 months. Or Aaron Nola. Really our main pitchers, Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, do not miss a lot of time, if any at all. Think about it. When has Aaron Nola been on the shelf for 2 months or Zach Wheeler? They have been really, really sturdy. They're in their 30s now. So chances are sooner or later they're going to be breaking down. But I tell you what, these guys take the ball every turn and they go out. Give them credit there. Luzardo had 11 strikeouts last time out. Let's see what he does on Thursday. I think he's pitching Thursday against the Rockies. And Sanchez, I love Christopher Sanchez. I think he's going to be good. And I can't wait. Fifth starter. Who the hell is going to pitch on Sunday for the Phillies? You need to tell me the Phillies are going to run out Taijuan freaking Walker against the Dodgers on Sunday. Are you kidding me? Taijuan freaking Walker? I mean, the game will be over by the third freaking inning, right? Dodgers up 15-0. Don't tell me that, Phillies. Don't tell me that. I know Andrew Painter won't be back until mid-season. Ranger Suarez is still having back problems. But you don't have anybody better than Taijuan Walker to pitch against the Dodgers on Sunday? Really? Oh, Jesus. I'll tell you what, Phillies better score 18 freaking runs on Sunday. If that's the thing. Because to me, it looks like that's who's going to pitch. Because you have Wheeler tomorrow at Wednesday. You have Luzardo on Thursday. Right? And then you're going to go Nola Friday. Sanchez Saturday. And it's got to be the fifth starter because to have Wheeler come back would only be 3 days rest. So it's got to be a fifth starter. And it's probably Taijuan freaking Walker. I think I might find something else to do this thing. Hey, speaking of which, before I leave, what the hell, Major League Baseball? Friday night, we got a big game here in Philadelphia. Phillies, Dodgers, right? Almost as big as it gets. And for those who aren't lucky enough to have tickets to go out to the stadium Friday night, you would think, okay, we're going to relax here at home. It's supposed to be rated. We're going to relax. If there is a ball game, we're going to watch it in the comfort of our home, right? Friday night, maybe get some chips and pretzels and just relax. No. They're going to have the game on freaking Apple TV. Everything is this, money. A big game like that should be on local TV. It should be. It is a disgrace. Major League Baseball. You're going to have these young Gen Zers and millennials say, oh, well, just get Apple TV. That's no big deal. What about older people who are on a fixed income? They can't afford Apple TV or something, right? Think about that. Don't be so damn selfish. Okay? Come on, Major League Baseball. What the hell are you doing? If you're going to put the Phillies on Apple TV, put the Phillies on when they're playing the freaking Marlins or some team like we don't care, You put them on against the Dodgers? Really? Oh, God. So, I just had to beef about that. Because I'm not going to be happy Friday night. When I go to watch the game, like usual, and I have to remember they're on freaking Apple TV. Are you kidding me? Oh, God. I had to take my Losartan. I had to take my blood pressure. Oh, my God. All right. Well, okay, that's baseball. Hey, we'll get together like this once a week or something. Right? We'll talk baseball. Just baseball. I'm going to talk politics. I'm going to talk about music or movies or whatever. Just talk baseball. It's baseball season, right? It's baseball. I know nobody's out there watching me or listening to me. Although I hope some of my loyal listeners out there. Last time I looked, I think we had like 78 subscribers. Where are you? I look at the things, later on, it says number of viewers, 0, 1. So, but if you want to come on with me sometime, talk baseball, just let me know. I'll send you an invitation, a Zoom thing, and we could rap about baseball for half an hour, right? Talk about the Phillies. What the hell? Rather than me just ran on and on and on by myself. Although I like it, I can talk baseball all day. That's just one thing. I don't know much. I really don't know much because I'm really kind of a stupid guy. But I could talk baseball the best. So maybe once a week or so, we'll get together and talk baseball. Huh? Like we did. All right. Good luck, Phillies. Finish off the Colorado Rockies, and then it's on to take the Dodgers. At least take 2 out of 3. Here's the way I look at it. If the Phillies are really going to pitch Taijuan Walker on Sunday, they must win Friday and Saturday, because I'm not saying they have no chance of winning Sunday, but if Taijuan Walker pitches, they have no chance of winning Sunday. I'm just saying, okay, take the first 2 games. At least you win the series, and then Sunday, whatever happens, right? There you go. The Phillies have quite a schedule coming, though, I mean, after they leave town, after the Dodgers, I believe they go to Atlanta. Oh, yeah, Atlanta's no great shakes now. I mean, come on. I mean, wouldn't it be something to go down to Atlanta and haven't won a freaking game yet? Or something like 0-11? What the hell? They ain't your grandfather's on your road, I'll tell you that. And then they go out to St. Louis, which is always a challenge trip to play cards. And then I believe they come home and they play 4 against the Giants. So they got a pretty good schedule here coming up. And we'll see how the Phils do, right? Just hope for the best. Okay, everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me. And I'll talk to you soon, all right? Everybody take care. Peace and love to you. And I'll talk to you. I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye for now. Bye.